There is a kind of silence that grows in people, something unspoken, carried for generations, a space between what we feel and what we know. Sit still long enough and it rises. You can sense it everywhere, like the air is listening, time is circling back to recover what was lost. We are not merely what we've been taught, and the old stories are wearing thin. Still, something endures. Memory? Instinct? Perhaps. Maybe a truth too vast for deletion. Call it light, call it source. It thrives where the mind can't always reach. In rhythm and song, in intuition, in the body's knowing. There are no maps, no fixed instructions. It returns through invitation. That is the seal, a signal, a threshold that waits for the right moment to be opened from within. This film is part of that opening, to remind something sacred was never lost, just sealed, and it's beginning to rise again. Through the years of listening and remembering, Dr. Melinda Pillsbury Arnold learned what few have words for. Guided by dreams, by practice, by ceremony, by ancient places and deep recognition, she came to understand how the sacred feminine and masculine were never meant to divide, but to complete. Her encounters with sacred memory a mystic named Om Seti, and her understanding of energy, healing, and ancestry offer a way forward, not through systems, but through coherence, through trust, through light. To recognize the ways your own heart vibrates, pulse to the earth, to the unseen, to the lines that run deeper than fear. The seal is a symbol, but it is also a practice. Women are remembering what was stolen, what had always been theirs. And with them, some of our brothers, armored in logic, standing against the mysteries, are learning to hold space, to unlearn domination, to rediscover presence. This transformation, out of the Kali Yuga, the age of forgetting, Pisces to Aquarius, from belief to knowing, what can happen when our hearts lead? You might feel something shift in the quiet place, inside, where you still know, where you never forgot. Because the seal holds all that we were kept from, so that we may be transformed.
Sometimes awakenings begin in heartbreak. For Melinda Pillsbury Arnold, it began when her brother was stabbed, his body surviving in coma, but his spirit reaching out. Across 3 hours of distance, she felt him, heard him. Despite his brain registering no activity, their connection transcended science. Through this bond, something ancient stirred within her. She called it divine imagination, epinoia, what the Gnostics once understood, that love opens the door to hidden powers within us, seated in our DNA, waiting to be remembered. In that suspended space between life and death, her heart opened, and a pathway was revealed. Later, he came to her in spirit, his Ka body, joyful, weightless, confirming the truth. Consciousness is not confined. This was just the beginning. She journeyed to the Yucatan, to Chichen Itza, where she joined native shamans for the equinox ceremony. That night, in a sacred cenote, a vision appeared, a woman veiled in sorrow and light, the lady. The presence was unmistakable, feminine, ancient, calling her to remember. Soon after, she was called again, to Fatima, Portugal. There, the light was blinding, real, physical. Again, the lady appeared, not in books or stained glass, but in spirit, radiance, presence. In a quiet moment, the lady whispered, "Merge with me." And Merlinda did. What she felt was light, energy, remembrance, her own divine feminine awakened. These experiences led her to uncover the ancient seals over the heart, energetic blocks born of trauma, grief, and ancestral pain. Seals meant to protect, but now ready to be released. She named this work the Sarah technique, a union of the divine feminine and masculine, the serpent and the sun, the protector and the healer, a path of remembering, a sacred return to love.